Hi, I'm Karen Brunger, President of International Image Institute. I provide trainings and products for image consultants. And today I'm going to show how to use the neckline kit. The neckline kit has 9 pieces and it demonstrates how to get at least 22 necklines out of the 9 pieces. Today we're going to show just a few of them, and we're going to show them on our client Liliana. So the necklines are often best, the best neckline is based on your facial shape primarily, but also we want to take into account your height and your somatotype or your body proportions. So we're going to start with a classic neckline, which is a V neckline. Now, with Liliana's face, we can see that she's quite wide in here through the cheekbones, and it's more of a square shape, and then she has a sharp triangle through the chin. So we know that anything that matches her face is going to be very good on her. So with the V neckline, what I like is that the V matches the V of her chin area. And to get the best V, I would match the width here with the width of her cheekbones. And then for the length, a nice proportion is to do the length of her face. So if we take her face length and put it here, that tells you how long she can go in her V neckline. If we were to manipulate the V and make it higher or narrower, we can see that now it's not as in proportion with her face. The law of contrast states that when a small area is compared to a large area, the large area will look larger. So this is making her face look larger. So because we have the V here, we can also at the same time demonstrate collars. So here we have, we can use these straps to show collars. So there is a narrow collar, and what we like is the angle here that matches the angle of her face, and certainly she can do that type of a collar. If we were to show a wider collar on the other side, we can see that now it's not as in proportion with her because her shoulder area is narrow. So now it's not in balance. So she could do this, plus she could even bring it up higher if she wants. So you can manipulate the collars to see what works best for your client. So that's the V neckline. A neckline that could also be very nice for Liliana is the Sweetheart. And we like the Sweetheart, it's straight here, we like the Sweetheart because it has some squareness through here, which matches the squareness in her cheekbones. And then it also has a triangle, which is nice for the chin area. For her, I would recommend a Sweetheart that has sharper angles in it because she is narrower through the bust area. Whereas if somebody is very full in the bust, I would recommend more curve in the Sweetheart, and that would be really wonderful. Okay, so there's the Sweetheart neckline. A neckline that could possibly be her best is the Square. And I would manipulate the Square to have it in proportion again to her face. So I would match the width to her cheekbones, or to be in balance there. And then with the length, so depending on the occasion, she could have it again the length of her face, or she could bring it up to have half the length of her face in there. So the higher up she goes in the neckline, then she has to be more conscious to have the width up here, more openness in this area for the balance. Because she's nice and wider necklines, a wide scoop could be successful for her. The reason I like the Square is because the Square matches the squareness and the angles in her face. But this could be just another option. This is the rounded scoop. And again, depending on the occasion, as she goes higher, then she can make sure she has to keep the width in here. And so she can go from her face length below to about even a quarter of her face below, just because as long as she has the length or the width through the shoulder area. Here we have the narrower scoop, and this one, if we bring it all the way up, we get the classic jewel neckline. Now for Liliana, this is not her best because again it's just closing her off too much. It's not in proportion with her. But while we have it, we could also show you how to get a turtleneck effect. So just take the same strap we used before and wrap it around, and you can see again it's just closing her off too much. It's not as flattering for her. So for this scoop, if she wanted to do something like this, ideally she would have it longer because it is narrower, so then the length would be more important. But if she does need a higher neckline for business, then what she could do is her jacket or what she's wearing over top, if that has the V below, then that can help cut down the effect of having the high neckline because it's creating the length through the outer layer. We also have a cowl neckline, which is a soft draping neckline. And this is very, very nice on people that have curves in their face and their facial features. So with Liliana, she could do some of it if she keeps it a little bit more open in here. But if we were to bring this neckline up higher, again, it's not quite as nice. But where the advantage of this has is that the folds create the illusion of a deeper neckline. So that's where it is, certainly is more forgiving. The people that need to watch out for the cowl is if they have fullness through the chin area and through the neck area, because it requires a little bit of space there. So, but for Liliana, she can do this if she wants. The last one we have is it's a straight shape, and so we could use this to demonstrate a strapless, and because it's a straight line, it's nice on Liliana. And if we bring it up higher, so she could even do an off-the-shoulder look if she wants, and you could even use it to show diagonal necklines. But if we come up higher, I just want to be careful not to go too high for her, because again, it's cutting off her face, and so a bateau neckline, for example, that came all the way up might not be her best option. So if she does go high in a neckline, she's always got to have some openness in the neck area. So those are the necklines and some ideas of how to use it. And for this product and more, you can check the links in the description.